We're working on that floor. The section where the gas pedals attaches to is actually to the center section where the shifter goes in, and also where the e-brake rod or lever or whatever it is attaches to up in here. We need to get the gas pedal assembly off of this, right up in here. It looks like somebody's already done a repair. This has been brazed, and Volkswagen didn't do that, at least not on buses anyway. They did put gears together with, I believe it was pewter or something. I don't remember what the hell it was, some kind of brass. And when I'm welding the gear, sometimes the stuff will drip off. So it's interesting to look for. But anyway, this has the wrong kind of hinge on it. It looks like something somebody picked up from a hardware store, so that hinge is going to go away. But I do have to put this pivot point back onto here because this part did not come with it. So this whole section in here actually does look like it's rebuilt from stock, and this section probably rusted out, and that's why somebody rebrazed in a piece of sheet metal. It's right here, which is holding on the gas pedal assembly and holding on this little lever that's attached to this. So we're going to cut this out of here. We're going to rebuild this thing and get it cleaned up and welded onto the new part. Alright, looking at this here, you could see where the factory put their 3 spot welds. This goes in here right at the line that I made, and this part goes butted up right against here. At least that's the best I can figure it was going to go. If not, I can make adjustments in the throttle cable to make it work, but that's where it's going to be. And that makes sense because these 3 spot welds would fall into here, this triangular little bit. So that all makes sense. Okay, now I have 2 options. I could drill these little holes out, and then I could MIG weld them, or I can take my spot welder and see if I can pinch these parts. And if I can pinch them, if I can get around all this stuff in here and pinch these in and just spot weld it, that would probably be the easiest way to do it. I decided just to say, f the dumb shit, and just drill it 3 holes, go that way. I didn't feel like pulling my 220 wire out here from my spot welder. Alright, well that should get it clamped in there. There we go. Okay, we're gonna weld right in here. Hey, welcome back to DuckmanCycles and VW Garage. I'm your host, the Duckman. Well, we're back today working on my 1967 Volkswagen bus, and one of the things that I've got to do is I got to get a gas pedal into it. And it may not seem like a huge task, but it's kind of an important thing, especially when your entire floor has been gutted out and everything underneath it has been rusted. I don't know how well this is even going to fit. And it's kind of a mess because somebody put a hardware store hinge on it and brazed it together. It's just, yeah, it's a total wreck. So I have to come up with a way to make this gas pedal fit. And I have to make it fit around that hump that I put in the floor last week when I went ahead and installed the steering box clearance inside that floor, that extra little piece that I put in there. And I don't know how well this is going to work. I know it should work, and I've seen other people do it. So we're going to play with this a little bit and see if we can make this happen. I'll be able to take care of it. So as always, you guys, likey, comment, subscribe, plug that dingle bell. That way you get updates every time I upload a video. And don't forget to check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links. Also up there is B McQueen's Instagram. And if we're lucky today, she might just grace us with her presence. We'll see in a little bit. She's actually working on some kind of dumb stuff with her dogs running around or some crap. Not stuff that I need to get into, if you know what I'm talking about. But she might just appear. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll be back in just a second. Well, obviously I failed that one. Only penetrated 1 layer. Okay, well we'll have to to try that again.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Up under the bus here, you can see the bracket we welded in, and the piece that moves that attaches to it. I just put a bolt through it with a little lock nut on the back there just to see if I can make this work. It looks like it's going to be okay. It goes into the hole nice and straight up on the top here in the floor. So underneath, this looks good. I'm not sure the direction that the throttle cable is supposed to go. This up and down stuff kind of seems a little weird to me. So I'll have to figure out how that's supposed to go because I don't think the throttle cable goes up. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe it goes down. I don't know. I'm really not sure how this is routed. But I'll figure it out. But we got this all clamped together. There's a clamp in there holding this piece in, holding the floor down. So everything's nice and tight right now. Let's go topside and see if the pedal clears that hump. Alright, here's the gas pedal. And it looks like it's supposed to be just barely on that hump. And I think when I weld in the hinge to the bracket, I could bring it up just a little bit. And if there's any problem at all, I could just bump it over a little bit to the right. Or just cut a notch out of the corner of the pedal and make this work. But I don't see any reason why this is going to be an issue. This actually looks pretty good. As you can hear, it's not binding on anything. It's got a nice clean motion. So I think that's going to be good to go as we see it. That's a win. And I think that just about wraps up today's video. But you know what? Rather than wrap that up, let's see if we can get the brackets welded in for the master cylinder also today, which goes in down below underneath this floor. So we're going to pull all this stuff back out and find that and get that put into. Alright, this piece here that we just demonstrated putting the new throttle attachment onto used to have a beam that ran underneath it that resembled this. Now I rebuilt this with some angle iron, and my angle iron was exactly 1 3/8 inches thick this way, but it didn't have this extra flange sticking out the back. Now this is the master cylinder, and this is the part that actually broke right off of this. It normally attaches right under here. This is actually that part of the flange that sticks out. So that would normally be attached to that. I think that now that the thickness is this way and we're missing the flange, is that I'm going to run that beam right up to the edge of this. We're going to leave this attached still, but reinforce it with some clean welds. It's a little surface rusted, but it's not actually completely destroyed. Clean it up all the way around, and it will get this welded back into place. Of course, I will center it in front of the brake push rod that normally goes into here, and we'll demonstrate that in just a second. This under here is our brake lever. Right up under here to the bottom that you can't see is the push rod. So the master cylinder should live approximately in this location. So let's see if I can get a grip on the situation here and get this camera set up in such a way that you guys can watch me as I start messing around under here. Alright, this master cylinder should go up under here. The push rod should go in it. And it should weld right up into there just like that. Okay, it looks like it's about centered right there. It's a shame my other hand can't reach to actually get under there with a Sharpie, because right now that hand is holding me up. So anyways, yeah, we're gonna have to play with that. But I got the general idea as to where I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this off camera. We'll get some markings on this thing. I get this thing taken apart, and I'm gonna sandblast it real quick so that way I can actually weld to it, because right now it's so rusty I'm not even gonna try. All right, fitment looks good. Well, Boomer over there is a real shit, and I use that term because this is what he did to me while I was under here. I rolled around underneath the bus. You can see that streak. That's because I am covered in duck shit. Thanks, Boomer. All right, while I was cutting and grinding away at this brake bracket, look who showed up.
No.
Haha. Check her out up on duckshit.net. Click the link for B. McQueen's Instagram, and you can find her up there. I don't know how much you're going to be helping me with this part today, but you're certainly going to help me with the next video, but we're almost wrapping up on this one. I'm just going to get this tacked in a couple spots. We're going to see what it looks like, and then we're going to close the video up after that, all right? Sound good?
Sounds perfect.
All right. Well, there we are. Hold this. Yeah, show everybody what it looks like. There it is. right, here's that bracket. It's going to go down under here, under these little markings that I've made. I know you can't see them, but I can see them. It's going to go right there, just like that. And we'll get it welded in. Unfortunately, because of its peculiar shape, there's really no good way to clamp it in. And because of the awkwardness in here with the angles and everything, I'm not even going to try to run this camera. Instead, I'm going to set up the GoPro. So let's pull this damn camera out of here before I break it by accident. And, well, we'll get the sucker welded in. Alright, all kinds of people are always telling me that I'm noisy and my neighbors are going to get mad at me, but if you hear any of the racket that's going on, there's actually about 3 house parties going on in the general area right around me. I'm actually the quiet neighbor. But anyway, we got that flange welded in here, so that way that master cylinder can attach to this and slide right over this little shaft that you see right here. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There's some welding slag garbage on there because that was a flux core welder. Yes, I'm using up the last of the flux core. We're switching over to a gas bottle as soon as that is done. So once that's gone, we'll go from there. But anyway, let's go ahead and stick my head up underneath so that way you guys can see what I've done. Here's our underneath angle. Here's the brake push rod. There's the flange. Looks like that's pretty solidly mounted. In fact, it's mounted better than factory because this is angle iron. This is not sheet metal. Sheet metal, it's probably enough to do it, but once it starts to rust, it fatigues, and well, as you guys saw, my master cylinder fell off. So that's no longer going to happen here. This thing is stronger than it ever was, and I think we're going to be good to go with that. Anyways, I think we're about to wrap up this video. Things are looking good. So let's go ahead and go topside, and let's say goodbye to you. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. If not anything else, controls are very, very important. And it might have been just a little tiny things I was working on in this video today, but that doesn't exclude them from being important whatsoever. Of course, without foot pedals, you're pushing this thing because it isn't going to operate quite correctly. Any opinions there on that?
You'd be Flintstoning that bitch.
Yeah, she pretty much said it right there. It's, yeah. Anyways. It's got a floor, it's now got pedals that are going to work, and the throttle cable and the brake master cylinder should attach to it just fine. I've got a late bay window bus master cylinder to bolt into here. I actually wound up with 2 of them for free that were given to me like 7 years ago or so. Anyways, we're on this microphone because the house parties next door are just so obnoxious and so loud. I think this is the only way you're going to be able to hear us without hearing their loud music and the people screaming, because it is just amazing. There's a party right there. I can see them through the fence. There's one right next door over this way. And wasn't there something going on over there too?
A couple houses down.
Diagonally across the street, yeah. So there's a lot of racket going on over here. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Licky, likey, comment, subscribe. Hit up duckshit.net and find B McQueen's Instagram. Make sure that you click follow on her and subscribe to me, guys. Really, subscribe to me. Hit up all my other YouTube channels. Hit me up on Instagram too. I'm going to try to get more active posting on there. It's like I haven't done it in like 2 weeks. I got a lot of like photos to put up. I just forgot. I've been working, as you guys know, I'm killing myself. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned, and what you're going to see coming up on Friday, we got a brand new video series coming up. We're calling it FU Friday. You don't even know what it is yet, but you're about to find out yourself.
I'm excited.
We'll record that tonight, and you guys will see it on Friday. Thanks for watching. Take care.